Hey friends, this is Grace and welcome to another video. We are on video number 16 of our daily creative or creative exercise series here in my YouTube channel. This is where I am basing my prompts from a book called Daily Creative by Todd Henry. I read this book, I would say a couple of years ago now, and it has really I really have enjoyed it because it's making me think of just the creative process, and I'm using those ideas into my scrapbooking. Of course, if you're a painter, you can use this too. If you're a textile creator or artist, you can do that too. And whichever artist you are, you can use all these prompts. And I think that's why I'm gravitating to this, because I have been exposed to a lot of different kinds of art, and I just feel like it will resonate to creatives and artists such as us, the scrapbookers. Okay, so the prompt for today is August 17, the value of copying. This is what it says. No one wants to be accused of copying others, and yet that's precisely how we begin the process of developing our own voice. We look to others who are already doing what we want to do, imitate them, learn from their style and experience, then over time begin to take small risks and find unique ways of expressing ourselves. We develop our craft through strategic copying. And I really like this prompt because it gives us this freedom, or this is it excuse? I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's giving us the excuse or the ability or that it's okay to copy. Now, I like that the author also said strategic. So, I mean, copying is just basically being lazy, right? But if we are in our world, in the scrapbooking world, we call that scrap lifting. If we scrap lift, then that means that we're lifting an idea but then making our own. And so I like those concepts, and I think it just gives us some again, freedom and opportunity, and it allows us to be okay to get some ideas, or start with a base that is from another person's creativity. So with my layout, I again went to Pinterest. That's been kind of my theme this month. I went to Pinterest and I was looking at some double page layout inspirations, because I knew I'm going to need a 2-page spread for these photos. And I found one, and again, I'm going to make sure to link that here either in the description box, or I'm going to connect it over in this video. Either way, I'm going to make sure that I pay credit to where credit is due when it comes to this layout. And I believe it was kind of one of those either close to my heart or some kind of creative memories type of layout. But I loved the banners on the bottom of the original layout that I'm getting it from. And I like how the photos rather span in the center, and it fit perfectly with my photos because most of them are vertical in orientation. I do have a few landscape, but as you can see, I am actually cropping them to make 2 fit in that 1 4x6, and then 1 I'm going to cut in a different shape. Now, the sketch called for banners on the bottom and then some circles. The circle, actually, I believe it's for a title, but I'm going to use that for a photo. And then I have all of my banners here. No, not banners. Not banners, Grace. tags. So I have my tags on the bottom, and that's where a lot of the pattern are going to come from, because then I'm just going to put this right on my pattern, my cardstock base. These photos are of my daughter and her BFF during, I believe this one was for Mormon prom. So we are a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and our young people, our teenagers, we call them the youth, they will put together an activity for them close to prom month, right, where they can go and dress up, and we have a standard that our clothes are modest, and so our kids will wear modest gowns and clothes, and then they would do a prom. They will have dancing to good music, or at least like no vulgarity in the music, right? And then they will have food, and they will, basically have a party, and it's more clean. So my daughter and her friend went to a Mormon prom, and I took pictures of them at the park right before they went to the party. And I love the colors of their clothes. I especially love her friend's dress because it's so vibrant blue. And so so it just so happens that when both my two big kids, they graduated from a high school that the colors of the high school are blue and yellow. And so I knew that kind of blue that my daughter's friend had matches the blue of the school. So I knew that a yellow would work well with that. It's not, of course, this is not a school sponsored event, but I just love how that blue really comes out with the yellow. So very grateful that I knew that right even before I started this layout, that I knew that the yellow background will make those blues stand out, and it does. And so I'm really happy about that. Now I did use a few pattern papers here. They're brand new. Well, I haven't cut into them, that's what I mean. And I'm using them here again as they are the base of where the patterns and the colors are. I also cut out a few circles. The largest one was for the photo, and then I had some scallop circles, just black circles in the back, and then I added 2 more circles to make the visual triangle. Now in the layout that I am scrap lifting, it had some banners over on the left and the right, and I can't remember if that was my own take on it, or anyways, it's going to end up being moved just because I just felt like it was not giving. It was just going to get covered by that circle over there. So I'm going to move that. But for now, I am picking 3 papers, and that's where the banners are going to be. As you can see, some of my items are not glued just because that's how I work. I like to move things around. Also, I added a 1/4-inch strip of black and white strip over on the top, just so that will have kind of a good definition between the yellow cardstock background and then my photos. And I believe nothing is adhered just yet as far as the tags and, of course, the banners. I'm slowly gluing everything together, but I just wanted to see where everything is going to be housed. I really liked the photos, but again, I was thinking of all of the open space, and I feel like that one would work better. And then I decided to move that, and then now this is where the banners are now going to live, is they're going to be in the center, just because I have spread out that circle a little bit more, and I like this one better. So going back to the prompt, this really resonated to me. The fact that, when we're starting off, let's not be afraid of scrap lifting or even like legit copying. I know I have some layouts that I've done 20 years ago that I see a layout, I really like it, and I literally copied it. Like I even went to the store and bought the same supplies. Of course, this was before I was, getting published, and this was before I was doing videos. Of course, now I would not do that because that is just basically, stealing from somebody, especially if I am putting it out there as my own. That was one of those layouts that I made just for myself and just for my family. But again, if you are starting out, let's give each other permission to copy each other, because I feel like, again, it's according to the book, it allows us to play around, and then eventually you will find your voice. You will find your style. And then that will help you to make more layouts that would be more your speed or your taste. So I love that this book is giving us permission to copy, but strategically copy. And this just shows you, so I've been scrapbooking for about 20 years now, maybe even more. And this just shows you that even when I am deliberately copying from someone, it turns out not like theirs. And I'm not saying that because, I'm boasting, but it just shows you that what the author Ted Henry said is true. That as you continue to improve in your craft, even though you are strategically copying others, you will find your voice. And so for me, even though I see somebody's page and it looks great, it almost always just becomes a jumping point for me, because then I have my own voice now. I have my own style. And there are things that I like to have on my layout that will not be on my inspiration layout, and that's okay. Or I'll move things around, like as you saw me, because we're all different. I mean, all of our pages, all of our stories are different, and so we strategically copy, but at the same time we make it our own, because of course all of our stories are different. So now I am just adding some finishing touches. I have those bows. I've had those bows for, I want to say, at least 6 years, if not more. And I pulled two out because it matched the blue on my layout. And then I had the butterflies. Did the butterflies introduce more colors? Probably, but I don't care because I used up that sheet of butterflies and I'm happy with that. I also added some some pearls to the centers of the tags on the bottom. I just felt like it needed some finishing touch. And then now for my final touch, I am going to add some stamping just because I have it in my homemade kit that I put together this month. And so I'm just using that up. And it makes me feel really good to make homemade kits again, because it just I don't know, validates that there's a reason why I'm keeping the products that I'm keeping now, is because I love them and they will be used over and over on my layouts. So here are some close-ups. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye now.